Disclaimer. This content may dramatize real events and include speculation. Viewer discretion is advised as details may not be fully verified. Could a superstar really hide a secret this dark for 10 whole years and no one said a word? In this video, I'll break down Cassie's emotional court appearance, the shocking things she shared, and how it might affect Diddy's future. Was this all just a celebrity breakup?
Is the media showing us the full truth? Would anyone believe her if she wasn't famous? Stay with me, because later I'll tell you about the video clip from the 2018 Met Gala that might prove everything Cassie said in court.
Cassie's husband, Alex Fine, had to walk out of the courtroom as she answered painful questions about being assaulted. Another familiar face showed up too. Singer Dawn Richard, once in Diddy's girl group, entered court to testify as well. Cassie, now 9 months pregnant, faced all of this while standing strong. She said this week was hard, but it also helped her heal. She hopes her story gives other survivors courage to speak up and begin their healing too. As Cassie put it, the more she heals, the more she remembers. And the more she remembers, the more she'll never forget. At the 2018 Met Gala, when Cassie was asked if she had any secrets, she joked and pointed at her chest. People thought it was funny at the time, but now, that cute moment seems like a cry for help.
Because what Cassie hid wasn't just a private story, it was a silent scream. She described 10 years of violence, shame, and control. That very night at the Met Gala, multiple sources say Diddy beat her in a bathroom, and others saw it and did nothing. Now, she's finally sharing what happened, and it's worse than anyone expected. She described being forced into group sex with strangers, threats of blackmail, and emotional pain so deep she once thought about stepping into traffic. She even compared her experience to Ike Turner. Yes, Eat the Cake anime, Ike Turner. And now that courtroom video is out and the trial is public, we have to talk about what Cassie survived and what this means for Diddy's case. Diddy's lawyers are trying to save him from jail by asking, if life with him was so bad, why didn't Cassie speak up earlier? Cassie answered that in court. She was too embarrassed. She didn't know how she'd even tell her mom.
And more than anything, she was scared of what Diddy would do if she spoke out. In one message from 2017, Cassie wrote, "Nothing good comes out of freak-offs." She also wrote, "You treat me like you're Ike Turner." That wasn't just a name drop. It was a warning. Those words carry pain that goes back decades. If you know Ike and Tina's story, you know this was never just about hitting. It was about control, what she wore, ate, sang, and even how she felt. Cassie says Diddy did the same to her. It all started when she was still a teenager, a rising singer, and Diddy was almost 40. Instead of helping her grow, he took her over. She signed a 10-album deal with Bad B Records in 2006. How many albums did she release after that? None. He promised her music and gave her a decade of pain. Cassie says she wasn't just hurt, she was groomed.
Made to feel special, then slowly controlled year by year. Like Tina Turner, Cassie had to smile in public and stay silent at home. But that silence has now ended. She says she was forced into sex acts with hired escorts, filmed without permission, and even physically hurt right before one of those escorts testified. Escort Daniel Filla told the court that Diddy made him force himself on Cassie while she choked and filmed it for blackmail. He also said he saw Diddy grab her hair and drag her while she screamed. And now, Cassie is confirming it all. She told the court she was choking during those acts. She was asked, "Did you want anyone to do that to you?" She answered, "I didn't want anyone to." How often did it happen? Too often. Let that sink in. She also said this happened even during her period. Did you want to do that then? No.
Cassie, pregnant and exhausted, was on the stand for the second day in a row. The jury saw pictures of her past injuries. She shared how those freak-offs left her with wounds, infections, and stomach pain. This wasn't just wild nights or strange behavior. She called it a cruel pattern meant to break her. She couldn't say no, not without risking her safety. "Why did you speak softly to him?" "I didn't want to make him angry." She had to delete videos off her phone to avoid being blackmailed. She once texted, "Please delete the videos. Too many people have access to your phone." He replied, "No iCloud, all good, Ambien kicking in." And when she finally left, Diddy allegedly raped her during a final talk on her living room floor. Can you imagine sharing all of that while pregnant, with the man who hurt you sitting right there? Still, Cassie spoke clearly for 4 full days, but today, she cried.
Under tough cross-examination, she kept it together. until prosecutor Emily Johnson asked one final question. Did Diddy force you during the freak-offs? Cassie broke down. Her tears made others cry too. Then came the quote that shook the whole courtroom. She said, "I'd give the $20 million back just to have my freedom. Because this isn't about money. It's about a woman who wants her life back." It's why the Ike Turner message was played in court. Tina Turner once said, "I felt trapped. I was afraid to hurt him. And after he beat me, I still felt sorry for him. Maybe I was brainwashed." Cassie told the court the same thing. She blamed herself. She hid her bruises. She smiled when she wanted to disappear. She lived two lives, one that looked perfect and one she couldn't stand to look at. "I felt like an object, treated like I wasn't human." Cassie's pain was so real, her husband had to leave the courtroom during her testimony. And yet, Cassie kept going.
Even though she had already accepted a $20 million settlement, she returned pregnant to speak her truth. But she had no idea what was coming next. Right as the trial faded from headlines, an old Met Gala video surfaced. And suddenly, the world saw everything in a whole new light. The Met Gala is supposed to be the most glamorous night in fashion. But in 2018, something else was going on behind the scenes. Something dark. And no one was brave enough to speak about it. In that red carpet interview, Cassie was asked, "Do you have anything to confess tonight before going inside?" She smiled and tapped her chest. "I keep everything right here." And again, all right here. Back then, people thought it was playful, maybe a bit mysterious. But now, it seems like she was sending a secret message, like she was blinking in code, hoping someone would notice, behind her fancy dress and perfect hair. She was hurting. Dot.
She says she was being controlled, embarrassed, and abused every single day. And that night, sources say Diddy assaulted her in a Met Gala bathroom. Other celebrities were nearby. Some might have even seen it, but no one said a word. Because people like Diddy don't always hurt you in secret. Sometimes they do it in rooms full of people, and those people stay silent. Let's go back to what Cassie said in court. Just days ago, she talked about how she was never allowed to say no. Her daily life, her body, even her health were managed, all for one reason: freak-offs. The freak-offs were a full-time job. She didn't have time to do anything else. She just recovered from one until the next. She said the infections from those acts became so common that the medicine stopped working. Did the UTIs hurt? Yes, a lot. Did the antibiotics help? No, they stopped working. What did it feel like during the freak-offs? Burning. I wouldn't recommend it.
And Cassie says she wasn't just made to do it. She was filmed, threatened, and told the videos would be used if she ever disobeyed. One time, she was dating someone new, and Diddy threatened to release the videos. She said, "It's disgusting. No one should do that to anyone." What did Sean say would happen if the videos got out? Shame. I'd have to answer to my mum. So, when that old Met Gala clip came back, it wasn't just interesting, it was terrifying. Because everything started to make sense. The way she stood stiffly, the way she spoke, how Diddy hovered over her, laughing but also watching. And what happened after the red carpet, the part no one saw live. Sources say she was beaten in a private bathroom. She wasn't alone. Other stars were nearby, maybe even in the room. Whether they heard her screams or saw her afterward, no one helped. Because in 2018, Diddy wasn't on trial.
He was still powerful. He was Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Brother Love. He had the power to start or end anyone's career. And Cassie, to them, she was just the singer dating the boss. But in truth, she was living a nightmare. That Met Gala clip, it's the perfect example of her life. All glammed up on the outside, while hiding pain underneath. A partner the world praised, while she suffered in silence. And a room full of people who looked away. Cassie kept showing up in public, but she said she was breaking on the inside. She said, "I couldn't take the pain. I tried to walk into traffic." She described Diddy slamming her into walls, stomping on her face, and dragging her through hotel hallways. At one point, she said he held her over a balcony, then threw her across patio furniture. And this time, there's video proof. Surveillance footage from 2016 was shown to the jury.
Cassie said she tried to leave their hotel room after Diddy, drunk, punched her. The video appears to show him chasing her down a hallway, throwing her to the floor, and kicking her. At the time, people were shocked, but nothing happened. No charges, no arrest, just silence. But now, the full 15-minute video played in federal court. 3 days in a row, jurors watched it. And what they saw wasn't just a clip, it was the whole story. Cassie barefoot in a hoodie. Waiting for the elevator, using the hotel phone, begging for help. A security officer took photos of the damage. Broken vases, marks on the wall. Inside the courtroom, people were silent. Because that old clip we all saw online, it was just a preview. The full video showed what happened before and after the attack. Cassie was trying to get away. The fight happened right after a freak-off went wrong. She called the front desk for help, barefoot, desperate.
Diddy caught up to her, dragged her back, and destroyed the hotel room. The jury didn't just watch the attack. They saw real evidence. Federal agents showed what was found in Diddy's room. Baby oil, cash, and drugs. Cassie had said he used those things for freak-offs, and now they were in the courtroom. One agent held up $9,000 in cash, fanned it out like playing cards for the jury. She said they found ketamine, MDMA, and other things Cassie mentioned. And when the prosecution asked the final question, did he hit you during freak-offs? Cassie, with tears in her eyes, said yes. This isn't just a story of rumors anymore. There's video, witnesses, FBI raids, photos, and a woman risking everything to be free. Cassie, 9 months pregnant, on the stand again. The jury saw her bruises, heard her story, and still it took this long for the world to believe her. So here's the question we're left with. Everyone knew. Why did no one speak up?
Cassie wasn't hidden away somewhere. She was on red carpets, in VIP sections, sitting front row at fashion shows. She walked beside Diddy at the Met Gala, the Grammys, the BET Awards, everywhere. But through all that time, she says she was being abused. And still, not one celebrity spoke up. Now, Cassie has confirmed what people only whispered for years. That Diddy kept a team around him. Bodyguards, assistants, celebrity friends. And many of them saw how he treated her. Cassie says she was hit, pushed, stomped on, sometimes even when others were watching. She told the court that after a wild night, she showed up at a party hurt and bruised. Instead of helping her, a BET executive told her to smile. Because when it's Diddy, you keep the mood right. You laugh, you take the pictures, you don't ruin the vibe. And anyone who tried to help, they were pushed away or silenced.
One time, after Diddy beat her, Cassie called her ex-boyfriend Kid Cudi, real name Scott Muscudi, for help. Diddy's reaction? Cassie says he told her he wanted Scott's friends to see his car get blown up. Yes, really, his car was actually blown up. Like something out of a movie. But this is how Diddy allegedly worked, using power, fear, and money to keep control. Even Daniel Filla, the male escort who testified recently, said the same thing. When asked why he didn't go to the police, he said, "I thought Diddy had too much power. Even if I spoke up, I might lose my life. And for others in the music world, image is everything. So who's going to challenge the man holding the checkbook?" Let's talk about Dawn Richard for a second. She was once in Danity Kane, one of Diddy's girl groups. She had her own lawsuit in 2023 accusing him of abuse and using his power unfairly. Dawn worked closely with Cassie and says she saw it all.
One day, she says, Cassie came downstairs looking for Diddy's phone. He got angry and threw her to the ground. He tried to kick her, and she curled into a ball, trying to protect her head. Dawn also said she saw Diddy hit Cassie with a frying pan full of eggs. She was scared for Cassie, but even more scared for herself. And even now, with all these survivors coming forward, most of Hollywood is still quiet. Where are the apologies from celebrities who stood next to Diddy? Where are the people who posted #MeToo back when it was trending? Why aren't they speaking up now? Let's be real. The industry protected him. They ignored the red flags because he was still making hits. Because nobody wants to lose that special invite to the next big event. And Cassie? She was young, beautiful, and dating the boss. People didn't see a victim. They saw someone lucky. But even now, after the tapes, the pictures, and that 15-minute hotel video, most are still silent.
When Cassie left the courtroom, she didn't say much. But her lawyer did. And her words hit hard. It's been incredibly hard, but also deeply healing. I hope my story gives strength to others who've been hurt. For me, the more I heal, the more I remember. And the more I remember, the more I will never forget. That's not just a statement. That's a mission. Cassie isn't just speaking for herself now. She's speaking for every girl who is tricked into silence. For every woman who is groomed and pushed into the shadows while someone else took the spotlight. And what a week it's been. The entertainment world is nervous. Because if Diddy goes down, he might not be the only one. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Cassie is the only one? Why do you think the celebrities stayed quiet?
And do you believe there are more videos that haven't come out yet? Top your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. And if you think this is real injustice, hit that like button so more people hear the truth. Because we're just getting started. This trial is moving fast. New facts are coming out every day. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell, because the next update might just shake all of Hollywood. See you in the next video.